Welcome back to another episode of Vice City Hub, where we dissect the beautiful, decaying ecosystem of modern gaming, one $100 digital deluxe pre-order at a time. I'm your host, your local cynical radio voice, broadcasting straight from an underground bunker somewhere beneath Los Santos, while the rest of the world scrambles to hit that pre-order now button. Now look, I know what you're thinking. You opened YouTube today expecting another 18-minute corporate bootlicking session. You expected me to sit here in front of a shiny thumbnail, screaming about how Rockstar Games is God's gift to interactive media, and why you should immediately fork over your hard-earned money, your rent cash, or your kid's college fund for a digital license of Grand Theft Auto 6. Well, wipe that drool off your chin, grab an E-Cola, and take a seat, because today we are doing the exact opposite. Today, we are talking about why every single sentient human being with a functional brainstem needs to smash that cancel button, close the PlayStation Store, and absolutely refuse to pre-order GTA 6. Yeah, you heard me right. Cancel the pre-order. Do not hand over a single nickel. Don't touch the $80 base edition, and for the love of everything holy, don't buy the Ultra Mega Deluxe $100 pre-order bundle that comes with a virtual bucket hat for your GTA Online character and 3 days of early access to a server that is guaranteed to crash the second the clock strikes midnight. Now, before the tryhards and the corporate defenders start spamming the comment section with copium, let's get one thing crystal clear. I know how this works. I know the hype machine. We've been living through a decade-long drought. We've been fed crumbs. A 90-second trailer here, a leaked alpha build from a teenager in the UK there, and 3 separate re-releases of GTA 5 spread across 3 console generations. We are starving. Rockstar knows we are starving. Take-Two Interactive shareholders know we are starving. And when a man is starving in the desert, he'll pay $1,000 for a glass of salt water just because it has a shiny logo on the glass. But here is the ultimate twist of consumer satire. Pre-ordering digital games in this day and age is the single greatest psychological scam ever pulled on the gaming community. It is a masterpiece of corporate hypnosis. Back in the day, when you went down to a physical GameStop at midnight, stood in line in the freezing cold with 30 other dudes who smelled like stale Doritos, and handed over cash for a physical plastic disc, pre-ordering actually meant something. It meant you reserved one of the 50 physical copies the store received in a cardboard shipping box. If you didn't pre-order, you didn't play on day one. Supply was finite. Fast forward to today. What are you pre-ordering? Bit rates? A series of ones and zeros hosted on a cloud server? Are you worried Sony is going to run out of digital downloads? Do you think the PlayStation Network is going to display a sign saying, "Sorry bro, we ran out of pixels for Florida, come back next Tuesday"? It's absurd. You are loaning an $80 billion publisher an interest-free cash advance for a digital product that literally has an infinite supply. You are giving them your money up front so they can flex their quarterly earnings report to Wall Street suits who think a first-person shooter is a guy who takes headshots at an archery range. And what do you get in return for your absolute blind loyalty? Radio silence, a multi-year marketing vacuum, and maybe, if you're extremely lucky, a digital t-shirt for your online avatar that says, "I paid $100 for a pre-order and all I got was this crappy JPG." Let's pull back the curtain on how this industry hype machine actually operates, because it is a masterclass in consumer manipulation. For years, the gaming industry has perfected the art of the vaporware tax. They announce a title. They drop a cinematic trailer rendered on a hyper-optimized supercomputer that doesn't resemble actual gameplay in the slightest. They show you volumetric fog, hyper-realistic water physics, and lighting effects that look like they were handcrafted by God himself. Then, the pre-order button goes live. And what happens next? The collective internet loses its mind. The hype machine takes over. YouTubers pump out 40-minute frame-by-frame breakdown videos analyzing the reflection of a palm tree in a rearview mirror. Look at the ray tracing on that tire tread. This changes everything. Meanwhile, Digital Foundry publishes a 20-minute deep dive because a Ferris wheel in the background didn't have a dynamic reflection in one specific frame of trailer footage. People start losing their minds, while millions of others throw their credit cards at the screen without having seen a single second of raw, unedited, UI-enabled gameplay. Think about that logic for a second. In what other industry on earth do consumers willingly hand over $80 to $100 for a product they haven't seen in action? If you went to a car dealership and the salesman showed you a 30-second slickly edited commercial of a hypercar driving through a neon sunset and then said, "All right, bro, hand over 80 grand right now. You can't test drive it, you can't see the interior, you can't check under the hood, and we might delay the delivery date by 2 years without notice. But if you pay today, we'll throw in a branded air freshener." You would call the police. You'd tell that salesman he belongs in a state penitentiary. Yet in video games, we call that a collector's edition pre-order, and we thank the publisher for the privilege of letting us give them our money 2 years in advance. Now, let's talk about the sheer, unadulterated genius of how in-game economies mirror real-world corporate extraction. Look at GTA Online right now. Look at what Los Santos has become over the last decade. It is a hyper-capitalist simulation where a standard Honda Civic costs $2 million, a tactical jet costs $7 million, and a bottle of Sprunk from a vending machine is probably being evaluated by Maze Bank as potential collateral for a high-interest payday loan. We spent 10 years getting conditioned to accept the most absurd economic inflation in digital history. When GTA Online launched, $100,000 made you a king. You could buy a high-end apartment with a 10-car garage, a customized sports car, and enough sticky bombs to start a small revolution in Paleto Bay. Today, $100,000 won't even buy you a custom spoiler for a hatchback that handles like a shopping cart on wet ice. If you want to buy a car that was added in a recent update, you need to grind the Cayo Perico heist 47 times in a row until your thumbs bleed, or you gotta break out the real-world plastic and buy a shark card. And that brings us right back to the pre-order paradox for GTA 6. Why are we pre-ordering? Because Take-Two Interactive has spent the last decade training us to be ideal digital serfs. They built an economic engine so deviously efficient that it turned real-world money into fake in-game inflation, and now they're applying that exact same economic model to the game's release cycle itself. When you pre-order GTA 6 without seeing a single frame of raw gameplay, you are buying a virtual shark card for a game that doesn't even exist on your hard drive yet. You are prepaying $80 for the privilege of entering a digital economy that is engineered from the ground up to squeeze your bank account like a lemon. Think about the sheer corporate audacity here. They give us absolute radio silence. No deep dive gameplay overviews, no developer interviews explaining weapon mechanics or driving physics, no breakdown of how Vice City's map scale compares to San Andreas, just complete, heavy, oppressive silence, interrupted only by a pre-order link that pops up every time you launch your console. In any other industry, radio silence is a red flag. If a contractor promises to build you a house, takes your down payment, stops answering your calls for 6 months, and then sends you a text saying, "Pre-order the second floor right now for exclusive wallpaper," you call the police. You file a lawsuit. You track that guy down. But in video games, radio silence is rebranded as mystique. It's hype management. It's letting the work speak for itself. Work? What work? We haven't seen the work. We've seen a cinematic trailer that was rendered to look like a blockbuster movie, designed specifically to trigger your brain's dopamine receptors and trick you into thinking you're buying a piece of history rather than an $80 license agreement that can be modified or revoked the second you break Section 4B of the Terms of Service. And let's look at the in-game logic of what we're actually supporting. We are supporting an ecosystem where gameplay systems are designed around friction. Why is the driving physics heavy? To make you crash. Why do police escalate to lethal force because you looked at an NPC for 3 seconds too long? To break your momentum. Why are the best vehicles locked behind multi-million-dollar paywalls or monthly subscription tiers like GTA Plus? Because friction drives frustration, and frustration drives microtransactions. When you hand over your cash upfront via a pre-order, you validate every single predatory design choice made over the last decade. You tell the board of directors, hey, keep doing what you're doing. Lock cars behind paywalls. Keep the servers running at 30 ticks per second. Don't worry about anti-cheat on PC. We will keep paying you $80 up front, regardless of how much friction you build into the experience. Let's turn the mirror on ourselves for a minute. Because as much as I love roasting corporate boardrooms, the gaming community deserves a massive share of the blame for this absolute circus. We are addicted to the coping cycle. It is a 4-stage psychological disease that plagues every single major release in modern gaming. Stage 1, the trailer drop. High-grade corporate hopium is injected directly into our veins. We screenshot individual frames of cinematic trailers, post them on Reddit, and write 3,000-word essays analyzing the physics of a pedestrian's flip-flops. Stage 2, the pre-order frenzy. Everyone lines up like cattle at a feed trough. Digital deluxe editions sell out, even though digital items cannot sell out. People flex their pre-order confirmation screens on X like they just bought prime real estate in Malibu. Stage 3, the delay and the cope. The inevitable announcement drops. To ensure the highest quality experience, we are moving the release window. And what does the community do? Do they cancel their pre-orders? Do they demand accountability? No, they clap. They say, a delayed game is eventually good, but a rushed game is forever bad. Quoting a 30-year-old game developer line that was said before day one patches, digital distribution, and live service updates even existed. Stage 4, the day one meltdown. The game launches. The servers immediately catch fire and implode under the weight of 3 million concurrent downloads. The PC port runs at 14 frames per second on a $4,000 GPU. Half the features promised in the cinematic marketing are missing or paywalled. The subreddits turn into literal war zones. People scream, cry, and demand refunds, only to realize that Sony's refund policy requires a signed letter from the Pope if you've already downloaded a single byte of data. And then, and this is the best part, 6 months later, the exact same publisher announces a brand new expansion or a new game, and the exact same players run right back to the store to pre-order it all over again. It is an infinite loop of consumer humiliation. We are like a dog that gets kicked by its owner, runs away for 5 minutes, and then comes back wagging its tail because the owner waved a shiny new plastic toy in the air. The fear of missing out, FOMO, is the ultimate weapon used against you. They lock exclusive pre-order bonuses behind these early purchases to trigger your primitive ape brain. Oh no, if I don't pre-order for $80 right now, I won't get the neon pink sports car on day one. My friends will laugh at me in the Discord call. Newsflash, nobody cares about your pre-order bonus car. 3 days after launch, everyone will be driving whatever broken meta vehicle some YouTuber put in a top 10 overpowered cars video anyway. So where does that leave us, my fellow digital serfs? Where do we land after peeling back all these layers of corporate gaslighting, hype-fueled delusion, and relentless consumer brain rot? It's simple. The ultimate flex, the highest form of gamer enlightenment in this day and age, is not having a pre-order badge on your account. It's having self-respect. It's keeping your cash in your pocket until the product actually exists, runs at a stable frame rate, and proves it isn't just an elaborate vehicle to sell you Vice City Shark cards and a monthly GTA Plus Tier 2 subscription. If Rockstar and Take-Two want your $80, let them earn it. Make them drop unedited, raw, HUD-enabled gameplay footage. Make them explain how the online infrastructure works. Make them prove that PC players won't be dealing with menu modding griefers on day 3. Make them show their work like every other industry on the planet has to do before taking a single cent from a customer. And if they don't? If they choose to stay silent right up until launch day, relying on cinematic trailers and the raw, unadulterated copium of millions of hyperventilating fanboys, then you sit back, pop an E-Cola, watch the launch day server meltdown from the safety of Twitch or YouTube, and smile knowing your $80 is still safely resting in your bank account, earning actual interest. You are paying a premium price for digital air when you pre-order, wrapped in corporate promises, delivered on a timeline that the publisher can change whenever their quarterly stock projections need a boost. If you made it this far into the podcast, do me a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe to Vice City Hub, and drop a comment below telling me exactly how much money you've wasted on pre-orders over the years. Or just leave a comment calling me a corporate hater so the algorithm feeds my children this week. Check out our Good Time Gear capsule collection linked below if you want to support the channel without giving your money to an $80 billion publisher. Until next time, keep your cash, cancel your pre-orders, and remember, in Los Santos and in real life, the house always wins, unless you refuse to play their game. Peace out.